Good afternoon. This is Brad Weber with Local Umbrella Media, coming from the IQ Podcast Studios, the Attorney King Studios in beautiful Coronado, California. This is Umbrella Connections, where we connect our residents with some amazing people in the community, some amazing businesses. And we have a very special guest today, Ms. Olivia Fellus. She's with Ascend Healing on Park and University, and I guess it's Hillcrest, University Heights, right in the middle of those two, but it's very easy to find. Olivia, Dr. Fellus, I should say. Thanks for joining us today. It's great to have you.
Oh, thank you, Brad. It's an honor to be on the show and everything, and I really appreciate that. It's great.
I've known you for quite some time, and Olivia, a lot of people don't get the paper. A lot of you have seen her articles and things, and they're great. We always get great comments on them. They're very professionally done, and they're always timely. And the last month one is timely also. We'll talk about that a little bit. But a lot of you don't know her, so you should, because she's a Chinese medicine
A practitioner.
I just asked you about that word and then I forgot it. And an
okay.
acupuncturist. And I just want people to know a little bit more about, what you do, what Chinese medicine is, if people don't know it, what it is, and what makes you special and the way you do it. I know you're special, but some people don't. So just tell us a little bit overview of why you're doing it, how you got into this, and then a little bit about what it is and what you do.
Okay. Oh, of course. So originally, I was set to be a surgeon. I wanted to be a transplant surgeon, actually.
Wow.
So I did all my pre-med. I was an oral surgical technician for an oral surgeon in San Diego, and I did the whole bit, the EMT thing. I was on that track, and then, like, slowly but surely, as I get more into like the hospital, doing a lot of the volunteering, I felt that I was a little too sensitive, for that environment. And I wanted to, I knew that I wanted to help people, and I wanted to help people heal, and I wanted to be hands-on. Um and so, I had a little bit of I guess you could say, like, a transformational moment where I really had to, there was a fork in the road. And I decided I was going to do naturopathic medicine, but I was actually in a car accident where I literally, like, it was a miracle I survived. And I went to the Chinese medicine school, where you can go in and get treatments. And that was when I was like, this is what I want to do.
Wow.
Like, and I got into the naturopathic school. Like, they wanted to interview, because that was like the closest thing I could think of. And I was like, oh, it's a little bit more holistic. But and it was just the way that, like, when you feel, like, they feel the pulse. Like, that's one of our diagnostic techniques. So even just like the hands-on touch, that look, there was, and of course, there's so many amazing doctors and nurses out there, and I respect what they do so much. And at the same time, they don't have a lot of time, right? They're in and out.
Right.
So just that level of, like, one-on-one, and it really resonated, and I was like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Well, it shows. I mean, I was introduced to you by someone I knew that had gone to you, and then we met each other, and I could just tell from the first minute that some people are just in it for the right reasons. Some people are in it for a career or money, or just fell into it or whatever. So you can kind of tell that you weaved your way through it and found your place where you can help people and have that gentle touch and that professionalism and all that. So how long have you been what you are now?
So in terms of like license and practicing, since 2016.
Okay.
And before that, it's a 4-year program, and it's actually a master's program, but we learn Chinese medicine, herbology. It's a very, very really good and very difficult program. A lot of the Chinese medicine schools, they do the herbs separately. But it's kind of like going to pharmacy school and to medical school all in one.
All in one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then also we need to know, like anatomy, very detailed, and like physiology. So there's a lot of Western medicine. And I'm so grateful for my Western medicine background, to be able to bridge the gap a bit.
Yeah, that's true. So when someone comes to you, do you sign up? Do you just diagnose them? Like, you go to the doctor and say, my arm's hurting, or I have a belly ache or a headache or something like that? Or what's the process if someone contacts you to solve a problem?
Oh, good question. So, in Chinese medicine, and I think this is a lot also with functional medicine now, is, we look at the whole person. Like,
Mhm.
when someone comes in, right, and they have shoulder pain, I'm not like looking at a shoulder, right?
Right,
I
right.
look, we look at the whole thing. So, yeah, um, a- yes, acupuncture is really known for helping to treat pain. It helps with decreasing inflammation. It helps also with basically you're stimulating different points in the body that cause a reaction internally physiologically, which increases the circulation and the
Mhm.
oxygenation and also the overall relaxation. I mean, the mind body connection is huge.
Right.
So yes, when someone contacts me, usually it will be for a very specific thing.
Mhm.
And but I still, I like they'll come in for treatment. Like I said before, we feel the pulse. I can tell the condition of 12 organs from feeling both sides, both arms on the
Wow.
pulse. It's an art, and it's something that is constantly ongoing. The masters, my mentor, Dr. Zev Rosenberg, who I shadowed for 4 years during my medical studies, he actually detected kidney cancer in someone's pulse.
Really?
And they were able to go, and he's like, I think you should maybe get this checked out. And they did, and they were able, there was a tumor there.
Wow.
And I mean, that's just an example,
Yeah.
how far reaching it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, people come in. I look at we feel the pulses. I look at the tongue,
Mhm.
and I go over a lot of questions. I mean, of course, we deal with, let's say if it's a tummy ache, like what's going on there. A lot of it is also like lifestyle. I ask a lot about, significant events happening in childhood.
Mhm.
For women, always look at, um, the menstrual cycle. It's huge, as
Mhm.
women like with hormonally. I look at also whether someone's on birth control, and it's it has a huge effect, whether someone has had a lot of surgeries that affects
Mhm.
the person. So yeah, and to make a short question a long, give it a long answer.
It's a complicated subject. Most people don't understand until you get into it how, the
Yeah,
human body and the human spirit and the human everything about what we are and how we exist is extremely complicated. And
it is.
it's not a
Yeah.
simple thing like I got a bellyache, well, take this pill or do this and you fix it and nothing else. Don't worry about anything else. It's un, it's hard to understand or impossible to understand for any of us, but obviously you're a lot deeper than the average person.
Well, I mean, I'm thankful for the philosophy of Chinese medicine with its Taoist background, where it's essentially we look at the branch and we look at the root of a
Mhm.
problem. So whenever you have a branch, it's symptomatic, and of
Right.
course, like someone comes in with a bellyache, my goal, I want that person to leave not having that bellyache for sure. And in addition, why are they having the bellyache? Like, is it dietary? I mean, there's so many people who come in, and even as simple as they eat dairy and they
Mhm.
didn't even realize, and it's
Right.
causing massive inflammation and even diverticulitis and inflammation in the GI. And it's something so simple, a little like fine tuning of
Right.
our habits in life can cause just huge shifts,
Got
in a
it.
positive way as
Got it.
well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I know you brought some props here, some things that you use.
Show and tell.
Yeah, exactly. Show and tell. What do you have here?
I do. So here are just, a couple things. With my treatments, I like to incorporate an array of modalities. So I don't just, do the acupuncture, and I do acupuncture, I do fire cupping, moxa combustion, and I brought some of that, just to show. And actually, did you wanna be my model
Sure.
today?
Absolutely. Well, there's
Yeah,
nobody else here unless Sarah
there
wants
you
to, but
go.
she's got a job. She's the only one here with a job. So I guess I have to be.
So yeah, so I brought my acupuncture. So I was gonna show you just, what it is, like what is inserted in the body, and it's very thin. I call them little cat whiskers, and this is clearly disposable, sterile. There's a guide tube, and it's single use. And then once we're done with the treatment for each person, then it goes in the sharps container. And a lot of people, as soon as they hear the word needle,
Yep.
right, it's like, I mean, me too. But it's very, and as you know, Brad, right? Like
Mhm.
with your experience, I
feel
mean,
it. Yeah.
it's very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
not painful at all.
yeah.
It's not even close.
So what I do is I I insert the acupuncture needles, and it's very, case by case and customized treatment for each person. And once we decide, and I diagnose the person, okay, this is what the pattern is, then we do the treatment. And I insert the acupuncture needles. They usually need about 15-20 minutes pardon, time to cook, as I say, and it puts a person into a parasympathetic state. So what does that mean? Rest and digest. Really relax. People usually feel pleasantly loopy after. It rewires like your not only your brain waves, but also it rebalances your organs. Because they're all connected in Chinese medicine. So there's a rebalancing of yin and yang, as we call it. So I was going to maybe show on you, like kind of what I do, or if you'd like, you want to be the guinea pig?
Where are we going to put them?
Well, I was going to do it maybe on like your forearm,
sure.
somewhere
I can do
nice and fleshy.
I better take my shirt off or my coat off.
Yeah.
Hopefully
So
this won't screw up any electronics, Sarah. We haven't done this before. But
oh, okay.
a real show and tell here. we're
doing things a little different.
That's okay.
And as you see here, I don't know if anyone can see this, but this is moxa, and it's an herb called Artemisia vulgaris. It's called mugwort, and it's been used for thousands of years, and it's like ancient laser therapy. So when I put that, I actually put it on the needle head and I burn it. And it helps, it warms the area, it helps alleviate pain, decreases inflammation, and it also helps, it actually has a very boosting and energizing effect on a person's energy or chi.
So you put it at the end of the needle? You're going to show us.
Yeah. Well, this is what we do all the time, but you have a face covering on. So you can't tell. So, what we'll do is that I'm going to pick a boosting point. This is actually on the large intestine channel right over here. All right. So here,
can we see this? We're going to change the camera a little bit.
There we go. So I'm just going to end.
Can barely feel it.
Not too bad, huh?
Nope.
All right. So that's actually on the large intestine channel. And these are my own little concoctions. They're called Moxa Guards, and they're basically to help prevent any ash from falling on the client, which it's just it's a protective technique. And I can create a little cone, and we usually do a couple rounds of these. So actually, Sarah, do we by any chance have like a little cup or something? Maybe actually, maybe we might not need it.
Of that, maybe.
Okay, yeah. I can do that. I can do that. All right.
Maybe not. Is that going to work?
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Improvising. That's what we do here.
Improvising, and then I'll show you the essential oils. So then what I'm going to do here, and I'm going to actually have you. There we go. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I was going to tease you and scream, but I didn't want to.
Oh, okay. No. So. We don't want to scare anyone. So now it's the lighting ceremony. Wow. All right, there we go.
That smells good too.
Yeah, it has. It's actually, and it's non-toxic. Like I said, it's from the family of sage. And you may or may not feel the warmth. Sometimes it takes a few rounds and you can feel it like literally penetrating, especially, into your body.
I can feel it.
This is really good. It helps open up the whole large intestine channel. I treat a lot of climbers. I treat anyone who's into rock climbing. There's a Mesa Rim climbing gym, and they have several locations. I treat the setters, and these guys are always having, like the forearms, there's always tendonitis, and I do Moxa on there, and it helps with the pain amazingly. Wow. So I do that. I use Moxa for GI issues as well, digestive issues, help warm the area. I treat a lot of fertility issues as well. So I've helped, thankfully I've helped a lot of women get pregnant.
Wow.
So
it's gotta be rewarding.
Oh, it's really rewarding. Yeah. It's really, and especially because it's like, oh wow, especially, people who have like wanted to for a while, And so there we go. There's an example of
So what is
of what I
this? Can you
do.
explain again what Moxa, what it is? What's it come from? Is it a plant or is it a?
It comes from a plant. So I know a lot of people are familiar with sage. It's the same family, and
Okay.
this is Artemisia vulgaris. And basically, it's dried, and it looks almost, it's kind of spongy, even
Yeah.
if you want to feel with your other hand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and there's
Like it's
many,
not even there.
right?
Yeah.
And there's many different ways that you can apply it. You know, I have a little salve, and sometimes I'll put a little dot on someone, and then I'll actually do, it's called direct moxa. So, and then I'll just put a little cone and then light it, and then it depends on what the issue is. A lot of
Okay.
times for like shoulder pain, I actually experienced this one time in yoga class years ago, and I went into the clinic for treatment, and someone, the practitioner, did a little bit of mox on my shoulder, even without the acupuncture, and the pain, I couldn't move my arms. I couldn't lift my arms like above my shoulders, and after that I could.
Wow.
And it was amazing.
That fast.
That fast. I mean,
Wow.
if you know, sometimes it'll take a few treatments, but the power of moxa, it was actually used classically before acupuncture. So
Really?
moxa was used on the points before acupuncture was introduced, and that was thousands of years ago.
Wow.
So it's pretty amazing. Here, I'll free up your arm now.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. But I did feel a little warmth there.
Right?
Cool.
And that was just from one
that
was just from one round. And so, you know, and I'll, you know, transfer this to my main sharps container.
Cool.
But so
getting a whole treatment here. This
getting
is
a
nice.
whole treatment, Brad, right on a show. And yeah, and so I'll do that. I usually do that on both sides. I'll pick certain points that are, you know, applicable. And we were chatting about doTERRA earlier, and I only because I love, I mean, I know this is a bit of a plug, but I love doTERRA oils, and I know you have a passion for doTERRA as well.
Well,
right?
I I used it because a friend of a friend was in the business, and they turned us on to it, and we used it for a while, and then I kind of forgot about it. And then talking to you one time, you mentioned you should do these essential oils, and I asked you what kind you use, and you said, I recommend doTERRA. I've checked them all out. So this is definitely a plug for doTERRA. As a matter of fact, coming on the show afterwards, my next show is going to be a doTERRA, iconic doTERRA distributor. I'll ask Dave what he is actually, but anyway, he's very much a professional, knowledgeable person about doTERRA. So we'll talk more about that later, but it's coming from you. I believe what you say, because I know you're just not going to use something that you don't believe in. So good for doTERRA. You're getting a lot of plugs
exactly. And you know, and it's really important what I, you know, what my patients, my clients, what I put on their bodies, because the skin is the largest organ and it absorbs so much. So I want to make sure it's high quality. You know, going back to, I know you were asking about like what makes my treatments maybe different, or what I love about it. And I love just being present with the person. I'm very like one-on-one. I don't like leave the room. I'm there. I incorporate like a little gentle massage. I use the essential oils. And I, you know, I believe that it takes a whole bunch of, you know, different modalities to, I just want to, I just love to do all the things, you know, with someone, and create an experience. You know, I also am trained in aroma acupoint therapy. So it's a modality that I basically am gently massaging or touching different acupuncture points with specific oils, and the body absorbs them. It's really powerful. So I mean, I love to use doTERRA for that. And I noticed, you know, I've been olfaction, sense of smell is so powerful. Like, you know, do you know that it goes straight to the limbic system when you inhale something? No. It changes your mood. It literally, like, it it basically evokes the brain to release neurotransmitters. And it goes right to the limbic system. You can change, you know, your mood, everything, like just like right then and there. Like citrus scents are very good for depression because it brings chi up to the head.
Wow.
A lot of times people suffering from depression, there's a lack of maybe even like proper blood flow to the head.
Really?
Yeah, and oxygenation.
We need
So
more time. We're gonna have to start a whole series, I think, on this because I knew this was deep, and I knew it was. You did a lot of things, but I'm surprised. And it's really fun for me to sit here with you because I've sat with you before, and while you're always professional, you're very polite and very kind of quiet, and I can see how excited you are to share with people about this, and it's personally it's enlightening, or it's not, it's inspiring to me.
oh,
So
thank you,
because
Brad.
I know it's coming from the heart, and I know you just want to
Yeah.
help people. So
Yeah.
I think you give Ascend Healing a call. We've got the website and all the contact information down below, but go ahead and say how do people contact you if they want to know more?
Oh yeah, they can someone can easily book a complimentary 20-minute. I like that in-office consult, just so we can meet face to face. You can see the clinic, so that can be done easily online. You can always text or call me. My number is easily it's on the website, or emailing me at lvfellas@gmail.com. But that's all on the website, and the website is ascendhealing.com.
Great. And it's going to be
So
scrolling along the screen so you can see it there. And also, Olivia does write a column. Um, we're going back to monthly. We took a break there for a while during the
yeah.
whole, the last couple of years, nothing was normal, but writes a column every month. It's always very informative. You can go to back issues and read it. Let me know if someone can't find it, we can help you out. But Olivia Fellus, doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you, Brad.
It was a
Thank
pleasure
you.
having you here, and I'm just it's inspiring to be with you.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you. And it's a joy to share and an honor to be here. So thank
great.
you very much, Brad.
Well, that's our show. I do want to thank our sponsors. I also want to thank our friends at Artistic Florals for these beautiful flowers that they brought. There's a few around, and they were just on the cover of our Kensington magazine, if I can find it here. But they just opened in Normal Heights. They just opened in Normal Heights. It's Artistic Florals. You can find them online or on Adams Avenue in Normal Heights. I want to thank our sponsors, Attorney King, of course, Sequan Casino. Who am I forgetting here? IB Fitness, Nikki Rottens, and is that it, Sarah? Did I forget someone? Okay. Thanks. That's our show. See you next time. Bye-bye.